So the problem is these panels had a manufacturing defect that really wasn't, I'm ready when you are, that really wasn't visible until we installed them. And you guys have heard me talk about oil can on the job site, on different trims, and how much I hate it. Well, the problem with this panel, there was a roller in the manufacturing process that was off by like 0.02 of an inch, and something that is almost impossible to discover at the point of the manufacturing process. However, once we got it out on the roof and we snapped the panels in, we were noticing an issue, but we thought it was us. We thought it was something we were doing. But once we got the whole roof done, we were able to take my drone up and I could see that there was a pattern to these oil can bubbles. And I'll try to show you up the roof so you know what I'm talking about. That way, you know, if you're ever in the, I guess, in the position where you're installing this roof, or you have one installed for you and you see something, but you don't know what it is, it might be a manufacturing problem, because these panels being 16 inches wide, when you lay them, you can get some bubbles real easily if not done properly.
Starting it.
Also, it's a good time to show you guys these things. The wind's not going to pick them up. I mean, look at that. I'm going to bend this panel before I can unlock it from that lock. So what we got to do is slide the panels all the way out the bottom, and I'm going to be feeling it. And I'm going to be feeling it tomorrow on my shoulder.
Thursday, second back day.
Thursday, second back day?
Thursday, second back.
What about shoulders, bro? My shoulders are going to be...
Man, the way you're pulling. Upward.
I don't know, man.
You're welcome.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It's all about
Betterment.
self-betterment.
You'll be stronger tomorrow than you were today.
That's really all I can ask for.
Guess what tomorrow is?
So right in the middle of the panel, one of those striations, those minor ribs, those little lines you see running through the panel, just wasn't rolled enough, and it was causing an inconsistency in the rest of the panel. The biggest problem is, you know, when you kind of just glanced over the roof, it didn't look horrible. It wasn't really until we had the whole picture that we could see these issues that were happening on a large scale. Now the thing is, you might think that I'm, you know, super disappointed, mad at my metal supplier. We've been using Metal Sales for about 8 years, 7 years now, and you know, I don't think anybody's perfect. So we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We fix them for our client, because that's what you have to do. That's what they're doing. They have, you know, they sent 2 people out. They don't want this product out here giving people a bad representation of their brand either. So no questions asked. They came out, they looked at it, they seen the problem, and that was yesterday morning. This morning we should have all new steel on the job site. And that's the biggest thing, is if you're gonna work with a supplier, a manufacturer, it's not always about the bottom dollar cost. Yes, we all are in it to make money, but you got to find somebody that in the rough times, they're also going to be, you know, on your back. Wait, not on your back, but on your side.
On your side.
They're going to have your back, and they're going to be on your side. And that's what Metal Sales has always done for us, and that's why we continue to buy from them. Great product, but even better service.
On your back.
And they're looking out for our health, Greg, because they want us to have second back day. All right, so we are waiting for our roof panels to come from our supplier. We thought might as well dive into our soffit and our fascia. But our fascia is also coming today with our supplier, so we can't get on that right away. So we're gonna go ahead and do our soffit. Now this is a little bit different than what you normally see, because we're not doing any wall steel. This is gonna be on this side right here, vertical LP Smart side siding, which means that we don't need that F and J channel trim that we usually use for our soffit steel and our wall steel. This is just a standard soffit J channel. You know, one of the things a lot of people always ask is, Kyle, you should do a video on what we should look for or ask for when maybe building our own building, finding somebody to build our building. Like, we don't know what to ask a local contractor. ask them if they're going to do overhangs. I think overhangs are so important for a building, not only aesthetically, but just so it performs well. You can see in here that attic air deflector, and it really makes sense now. These are going to be vented eave soffits. That vent is going to be open, and the fiberglass is going to be blown against this piece of blockade house wrap here, but the air is going to be able to travel in this overhang through this opening and all the way up to the ridge vent. And without a soffit, you just can't get proper airflow. Now, if you're going to go ahead and spray foam your walls, your roof deck, and everything and make it airtight, then I guess it's going to be completely aesthetic. But for us, we utilize a vented ridge, and it's very important. So what we do to secure the soffit J is we just take a metal screw, take the rubber washer out, and then put it right in the middle. And then it's nice and secure.
Me in a pile of treasures.
So we've got our new steel. This is honestly a minor change is what we were told. Just a couple thousandths of an inch adjustment on these striations here in the middle of the panel made all the difference in the world. Our panels are running perfectly. They look amazing. And honestly, even though we've lost 3 days of work basically throughout this whole thing, I feel like it was the best decision we could have made, because this roof is going to be so visible from so many different parts in town here on this project. And it's
freaking mint.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Sexy. Greg, I don't get worked up over much anymore, but this is working me up. I'm feeling good.
That's keep that to yourself.
No, not that. Sure feels good to get this side of roof redone, and not just done, but it looks phenomenal. I couldn't be happier. You know, whenever you see product that just doesn't look right, doesn't look bad, you don't want it to reflect on you. Me and Greg try real hard, and even though we do try hard, it doesn't mean we're perfect. And we thought, you know what, I just hope that this is a material issue so that, you know, we can feel good that actually we did do a good job. And after coming back with the right material that was done properly, I don't think there's nothing to be ashamed of. It looks phenomenal. I'm gonna go ahead, roll up this last panel, and show you guys some killer drone shots probably. So the next thing we want to get working on is this rake trim. We need the rake trim on in order to do our ridge cap for the roof. However, in order to do the rake trim, we really want to have our fascia on because the fascia is going to tuck underneath this rake cleat. We're going to screw that rake cleat down so it's nice and solid, and then our cleat trim that's going to go over this and over the roof edge is going to go on last. Now whenever I'm cutting this peak piece that's gonna come on my rake here, I like to cut it long, and I'm gonna make sure that my points, my miters are all perfect. I'm not gonna go off of a measurement. Oh, look at that little bug. Get out of here, dude. So what I like to do is take 2 scrap pieces of this rake trim and get them like they're gonna be on here, and then try to line them up so I can find right where the point is. It's gonna be right here, because then I can take a dimension and get a measurement. That's like 73 inches. So now what I can do is take this scrap piece and I put a 412 on it. Okay. So now once I have this snapped down, and this is where I like it, what I can do is just carry the plane of this piece of trim So at the top of every piece of this rake trim, you're going to want to screw this in, because this is what's going to hold it from sliding down. And then the next piece is going to lap over top of it. Notice my notch cuts. So that's the rake trim detail. It's a little tricky. There's definitely some monotony to it. The hemming of all these undersides of this trim is definitely a little tiresome. But once it's done, we're ready to put on our ridge cap. If you notice, Greg's been in the background and he's been installing these ridge clips. So these are the ridge clips. You can see Greg has installed a screw on one side, and then we flip them open. That way we can run our vented ridge closure. This is the closure foam, and it's kind of like a Brillo pad. What this is going to do is prevent, I think it's 100+ mile an hour wind-driven rain from coming through here. and it gives us the proper CFM for our ridge, which we don't have cut open yet, but we will. You can see now, we just basically, it goes up over these ribs. It's already slotted for that. And then we just close it with our clips and screw the top side down. I've got a 1.25 inch bend. Honestly, I just went with 1.25 inch. I thought inch was too small. That's what I did last time. And this is going to sit right over top of the rake trim. And then we're gonna start drilling and riveting through the top, making sure that it's running nice and straight. Let's go ahead and start laying these out. This rivet is what's going to hold these two together, because remember, they're just crimped on and they can't really go down. I mean, it would be really hard since they're kind of locked on the trim ends, but this keeps them together up here, and then this is going to get flashed over with our ridge cap, which is now what we're going to finish up.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. So there we go, that's the ridge cap detail. We're gonna rivet those, we're gonna rivet into each one of those clips that's under here. And yeah, you can see the, oops, and yeah, you can see the butyl tape right here, but you really can't see it from the ground, and that's an important detail. Maybe they make colored butyl tape, Greg, I don't know. Something I guess we could look into. It's probably costs more, and nobody's gonna see it but us or the birds, but all of you guys out there, obviously. But I always try to leave this just a little long. You can see it's not tight. I think it gives it another little shadow line here. I think it looks good. And yeah, I don't know, it's just something, you know, you got this little shadow line and then this cap shadow lines here. Everything lines up nice. And you could put rivets in these things. I don't think it's really always necessary. These aren't going anywhere. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead, put the last couple rivets in this ridge cap, and then we're done on the roof system, and then it's soffit fascia. We finish all that up. All right, so here's a shot of the ridge. I mean, it's nice and straight. I will say that the oil can is my biggest disappointment with the design of this roof, and I think that there's gonna be some changes. We gotta go down and get the blower, blow all these fines off, but yeah, I think otherwise it's a pretty good looking, pretty sleek roof.